Is there a category name for this type of system? Because it just dawns on me that I'm not even sure what I would search for, or if it would just be a source of truth box. I don't, I was not a box, this kind of thing, but what do you call it?
Network sources of truth, single sources of
Okay.
truth. For the most part, they're going to, if you were to search under that name, you'd find the market pieces that are there. But they also do a lot of other things too, and that's I think what can be confusing to clients as well, because
That's what I was wondering. Yeah.
fundamentally, data center infrastructure managers have existed for a very long time, right? Data center operations teams being able to track assets down to the floor tile and what rack lives there and the power consumption. There's a lot of overlap between these sources of truth and those tools as well, because the data in those tools is fundamental to how we model the infrastructure as a whole on top of these tools as well. So there's definitely a little bit of market overlap there, and they may come up together depending on how you're searching. But
Yeah.
yeah, I would say network source of truth, single source of truth are probably two of the most common terms.
Well,
That's okay because we can integrate those two tools and get that data where we need it, when we need it, versus have to
yeah.
rely on this one tool to drive everything end to end.
Yeah. I'm just thinking my overly simplified personal example. I remember back in days of saying I should have a work calendar that's different from my personal calendar. And then I began realizing that, well, wait, they need to also, I still need one source of what is my day because I'm still the same person trying to get this across. And one can't be updated at the sacrifice of another, in terms of
Exactly.
determining availability, perhaps.
And then
Overly
also,
simplified, multiply
yeah,
that exponentially
and
for
then you
network
run,
devices.
yeah, and you run into those issues with data overlap too, right? If
Yeah.
something is in this system or this system, what is the piece of data that matters, right? And so there
Stuff
is
like that.
that process and that data reconciliation that we have to go through that says, this is my source of truth. I have another system out here that says something different. We should probably look at that issue and understand why they've deviated and correct that
Yeah.
problem, right? Because we want to drive as much of a cohesive view of the data that it relates to the infrastructure as it can.